Episode 8 of the Strido Unplugged podcast. This week we're joined by Monarch Racing's Jason and Tahlia Micallef, who have been operating for just over a year. And in this podcast, we're going to be delving down to what makes them tick, how they got started, and understand their whys. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today. I obviously known you guys for around about 6 months to a year. We've been working with you both on the Strido side and the Road Racing Media side. And I have been lucky enough to get to hear your story and your whys and your hard work. But I think it's important people get to see the people behind the colours. So, Tahlia, syndication.
Yes.
What tempted you guys to become a syndication?
Well, we bought our first racehorse ourselves. I think it was just before 2020, Mr. Marathon Man. That's when we got the full ownership experience. So we, bought him on English Digital, 70,000 possibly. 70,000. Yeah. And we had a bit of experience with other syndicators, just small shares. So we knew what it was all about. We thought we'd take the plunge and do it ourselves. And it was the best thing we ever did. We had a lot of highs and lows, but we ended up winning a Canberra Cup. So that was a super big highlight. Going to the races, taking the kids, just the whole ownership experience. Yeah. So then we were hooked. Yeah. And from then on, we just kept buying or getting into horses ourselves, and then we started racing with a few friends and doing the ownership group thing. Yeah. So, and we loved that, and we just thought, why wouldn't we do it as a business? It's a passion project. It's something that we love doing, race more horses with great people. Yeah. So, and then I think, were we away? We're on a family holiday and we'd been umming and ahhing about it. And Jason's like, no. And then I thought, why not? What do we got to lose? Yeah. Let's give it a crack. And then he was like, all right. And then we're all in. So then we started it up, picked the name. The name Monarch we actually got from Godzilla, the kids movie. We were trying to think of brainstorm names, but the helicopter. Because we were just brainstorming ideas, come up with that. And then from there we just... we've got, and then here we are a year later. We've got great horses, a great team, and the best thing about it is we've got great owners. So it's been a lot of fun. We've had a ball, and we're looking forward to, the future. So it's been great.
At least you didn't go for Godzilla Racing.
Yeah, Godzilla,
I don't think you have many Japanese runners after that.
It worked out all right. I mean, from that, a name's one thing. But with a bit of a business background, applying a good brand, having nice colours, have something people want to be a part of, and then to back it up and provide the service is the most important,
And I think syndication, there's about 100 licensed syndicators that we could name. I suppose we always hear the point of difference and, everyone's got the same aspirations, but what do you think qualifies you to come into this side, into the horse racing industry, start a business, and essentially manage people's, their Saturday afternoon and their investment? What, in your point of view, what qualifies you to come into that space and not just compete, but look to be, meet your aspirations?
I think, to be honest, we don't like to compare ourselves to other syndicators. I just want to see everyone get winners. That's the kind of people we are, right? But we're also black and white. We give our clients good news, we'll tell them bad news. Where no one's out there is, in my opinion, not trying to do the greatest, absolute best job they can. Some people get lazy, and there's, sloppy business owners in every industry. Yep. But there's some fantastic ones, and we just worry about ourselves, And if we can help anyone else that's what we try and do. And mainly, obviously, the owners are paramount. But even with Strido partnerships and trying to strive and succeed, that's what we do. And we do it as a team, don't we, babe?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, for sure.
Let's have a look at 2024 so far. How long have you guys been operating? We're now in July. How long has Monarch Racing been actually operating from the first horse you had in your colours, and the first horse you've also purchased as under the syndication banner.
Yeah, so that was last year. And
12
in
months.
June, 12 months. It'll be June we purchased our first Monarch Racing Syndications horse. That was Amaretta Bow. She was a Zusain filly.
Yep.
And she's had a couple of races now.
Yeah.
And she's absolutely beautiful. So she's gone back out to the paddock and she'll come back in and as a 3-year-old.
Yep.
And so we're excited about her.
And she's with Richard Litt.
Yeah, she's at Richard Warwick Farm. She's a 3-year-old. That sale, it's a good sale for fillies, and you're seldom going to get a 2-year-old halfway through the season, you know. So it's a good 3-year-old sale, and she's a quality filly. You love her.
You get what you pay for, don't you? Well, maybe not in this industry because, you know yourself, horses can pop out of many sales, different price brackets, different bloodlines, trainers as well. There's a horse on your list here of purchases, Bacchanalia, recently narrowly beaten in the Romani.
Yes. Thanks for reminding us, Dave.
Yeah, you just gotta. I'd be born if you'd won it, wouldn't it? You bought Bacchanalia on the English online sale, 70,000.
Yep.
Talk to me about why you would buy a tried horse. Why you bought it from Godolphin, because I'm guessing Godolphin wouldn't let many slip through their hands. And talk to me about the experience of buying it online as well.
Well,
Bacchanalia.
I'll start with the why we got Bacchanalia, and you can talk about how you make me keep bidding, which you wouldn't think in a relationship that would be the way it goes. But now look, Bacchanalia, for $70,000, right, to race for the 150 plus on offer of most Saturdays or $200,000 listed races.
Yeah.
Have a quality horse that's been extremely well educated by probably one of the best operations in the world.
Yeah.
As a 5-year-old with plenty of racing left in him. Yes, he's got quirks, but I mean, you pair him up with a Richard Litt. He's had a few runs on heavy tracks, and he had good form on heavy, but just didn't like it. And Richard kept working away, persisted, and got him on top of the ground, blinkers on, tweaking with him at home, and we nearly won the Romani.
So close.
Third start. I mean, and now we've got a great horse that we can have fun with, and we're going to Rosehill, Randwick, you know, country listed races. Like, it's a heap of fun.
Yep.
And not having to wait. It's too long, you know. Like, we've had, he's been an absolute ball. One of my favourite horse that we own is Destination.
Yep.
And another ex-Godolphin horse.
Yep.
I mean, he's won one race. He's had about 14 seconds, I feel like. He should have won. But, I mean, he's paid for himself. We take the kids to Canterbury Friday nights. We go to Rosehill on Saturdays. You go to Wednesday meets. Like, all the boys in that there, they bring their kids. They bring their wives. It's like, it's so much fun, you know.
Yeah.
And,
It's a family affair.
And he's got a well-educated horse that's sound that we vet in our system, and we make sure everything's right before we go for a purchase. And that's what we do it for, Dave.
Yeah.
And the one time you can't, like, not everyone's got wings, mate. Like, I'd love one.
Yeah.
If you know where one is, please let us know.
I'll gladly share it
But
with you.
the reality is you don't win every race.
Yeah.
And when you do, and you got good people, it makes it special. So you want to talk
Definitely.
about the bidding?
The bidding. Well, I really liked Bacchanalia.
You did.
I really
you
liked
still
him.
do.
I still love him. So it depends. I mean, you have your limit on what you want to spend, but it depends. Like, sometimes you think, oh, do I go another bid? Do I really want to lose him or her for, you know, I don't know. What does it usually get up to?
Dale, sometimes you've made me, I've been questioning, how am I going to pay for this? Yeah. And she's like, one more.
But then again, sometimes it depends. Like, but then sometimes if there's a horse that he's like, oh, should I go? I'm like, no, I'm done. So it depends.
Very rarely,
Depends.
babe. Very rarely.
So you bought it for 70. What did your database look like at the time? What was your interactions with owners and like?
None. We didn't have it. We started 12 months ago. We had nothing. We had family and friends, and we had a bit of success, and we've made friends along the way in the industry,
Yep.
which has been fantastic. But I suppose a little bit of a point of difference, mate, if I buy a horse and it doesn't sell, I'll race it because I believe in it.
Yeah.
This business for us is not, it doesn't have to make money for us. This is our passion project, something like we truly, truly believe in. I mean, and whether I buy 9 in one year, 2 in another, I mean, we want people to come in that just want to race horses with us, have fun with us. Bring your wife, bring your cousins, family, kids, get to the track, have fun.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, like we have a mini management fee. I mean, everything else is at cost. It's purely a passion project, and our clients they usually start with me, and then once they start talking to her, I never hear from them again.
No.
They got
awesome
and I'm like,
owners.
where'd all my mates go? They all talk to Tahlia.
And so let's have a look at the yearlings you've bought this year. I think it's always interesting processes, what drives people to go to the sales, understand their expenditure, etc. Some people have an incredible strike rate, obviously as a young syndication. Was this your first sales season where you went into it?
No.
No, you didn't.
No. I used to buy. It's been a process. I mean, from where we started, and I used to buy one for myself out the classic sale for my birthday present.
For his birthday present, yeah.
But the best one there, I bought a $40,000 impending.
Yeah.
And he had 6 starts for 2 wins, and then he ended up going to Hong Kong.
Yep.
And that was brilliant. Like we had a good ride with him, just to be able to do the process, have the success all the way through, whether it be I mean, he won at Goulburn and Wyong, right? Like, I mean, for me, that's a good start. And what we got, obviously, going to Hong Kong made everything all worth it. But he was a progressive horse, and just to be a part of the process to go, I picked it. I didn't have any bloodstock agent help. That's kind of solidified that I can do it.
For sure.
You know, you get that bit of self-belief. And I mean, every year, it's like anything, whether you're a tradesman or you're in a job, every year you get better perfecting your craft.
Yeah.
And I think mainly this year with these yearlings, I think with the team that we've assembled and the professionals, like I haven't been more happy with, or I truly believe in what we've bought. Like, they're beautiful, beautiful animals. I've ticked every box, but whether I know they run fast.
Yeah.
You know, like
And
I've given it everything, haven't we?
Yeah,
we've really worked so hard this year to get this off the ground. And
as you said, we believe in what we're buying. So,
yeah.
I mean, you have to be. You don't want to sell a horse that you don't believe in or you don't think's quality.
I'm a big believer in.
No, you can't.
I mean, you hear
How
a
do you-
lot of things, but I'm a big believer. You can't remember all your lies, so we just don't bullshit.
We don't. Like, from the get-go as well, especially if we get someone that is new and is new to racing, and, you know, it's very important that they speak to Jason and I and get the full, because it's, as people say, I want to invest. Well, it's not the best thing to invest
should
in. It's
buy
very
a
high
house.
risk, buy property.
If you want to invest, buy a house. This is
At the
not
end
the
of the
sport
day.
for you. If you want to have fun and you know your limits, and I mean, we try and tell people, like, I want 10%. I said, well, mate, why don't you have 2.5 over 2 horses? And this is the ongoing, you know, and it works out. They're happy in the long run. We tell people higher ongoing, so when they get the bills, it's under. Just do the right thing. It's not hard.
And your trainers as well, you race with Richard Litt, Warwick Farm, Simon Zara, Darren Flemington, and David Pfeiffer at Warwick Farm as well.
And we got Queensland
Got one coming
to announce maybe towards the end of the year, but we've selected a trainer for up there, so exciting times to expand the market.
And with the process of selecting your trainers, why race with those trainers? Do you have a pre-existing experience with them, or like how do you select those trainers?
Look, Richard was the first bloke to pick up a phone when I was just...
There's a lot of sales. We bought Mr. Marathon Man, but there was a lot of sales we were unlucky.
9 months.
A long
I was
time.
ringing Richard Litt, and he took the time to talk to me about horses coming through. I never had a horse with the bloke. Wasn't interested in buying a 5% share. I wanted a horse for us. And I wanted the right horse. And he took the time every sale, and we started to build a good friendship. And then obviously I mean, for $70,000 for Mr. Marathon Man and then winning the Canberra Cup, the first tried horse, was a pretty good start. And you know, as you build relationships with these guys, and Dave come into the picture. Dave's been a mate of mine for years, and you start to learn what they're doing. I had shares with Simon. And then once you have the relationships and you understand their training style and horses they've had success with and types of horses, when we select them, it's just which trainer's best for which style of horse we've bought, you know?
Yep.
So bigger, stronger fillies are down in Flemington.
Yep.
And like the boys up in Vobis and Bob's help dictate a little bit too, obviously. But like I've got 2 beautiful fillies up here. Dave's got one and Richard's got another with the Sword and the Cosmic Force. I mean, they're just going to take a little bit more time. One's from a June sale, one's from Premier, but they'll race at some point when they're 2 and they're going to be better 3-year-olds. And I think the boys up here do a fantastic job educating and bringing them in and out. So horses for courses, Dave.
And Tahlia, how often would you visit these horses? Now they've been purchased, they've been broken in. Do you, like, what's the kind of like routine for yourself working with these horses ongoing and obviously managing the experience for your owners?
Yeah, for sure. So we do weekly updates for our owners,
Yep.
Just to keep them in the loop with what's happening with their horses. So we try and go out to Warwick Farm, every fortnight. Also get photos or Fernhill, just to see how they're going. Depends what stage they're at as well. So when they're out spelling, they're out in the paddock. We get obviously speak to the spellers and trainers.
It's depressing when they're spelling.
Yeah, well,
you want to give them more, don't we? We can't. They're in a paddock
but
eating grass.
They're enjoying themselves, and so it depends on what part of the process they're in. So if they're spelling pre-training, obviously when they're in full training with the trainers, we speak to the trainers on a daily basis anyway.
Yep.
So we definitely, so at minimum it's the weekly updates,
Yep.
and then obviously when they're pre-training and in full training, it's more frequent.
Yep.
But I think the point of difference as well is with us is all our owners have our numbers, and some of our owners will speak to, weekly. Some will be like daily. It just depends. Like they have that option to always, if they have any questions, no question's a silly question. So we say that to them. So call us anytime. So I guess it's having that relationship.
They're not a number.
With them. It's not a
They're
it's
a
not,
part of it.
It's not, and that's what some of our smaller shareholders will say to me, "Oh, I'm only on 1%. Oh, I won't bother you." And I said, "No. I want you to. That's the part of it. We love speaking to our owners. It doesn't matter what your shareholding is. You're still a racing partner with us, and that's what we say as well with our trainers. Like they can speak to our trainers, any day of the week if they wanted to, and they're like, oh, they feel all, I guess special, but they didn't know. But that's how it should. But that's the experience we got when we had our, Mr. Marathon Man, and that's what was exciting about it, feeling important, and you still. It doesn't matter your percentage, you still are equal. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
And how do you find that time with? You've got 4 kids.
It's busy, it's crazy, but it's not. It's a lifestyle. It's not really work for us in a sense. Like you've got to get, with me, it's any spare time I have, I'm doing Monarch.
Yep.
So, but it doesn't feel like work. It's not like, oh, I have to go do this. Like I get to do it. So it's just about, I guess, your time management.
Yeah,
I think teamwork.
And teamwork, yeah.
Teamwork. I mean, sometimes I've got to wrangle 4 children so she can get the emails out, or sometimes, it's just a passion project for us, and it's really our lifestyle. Like this is what we do. So it's not we don't even look at it like work.
No.
Just get in and get it done. I mean, if accounts need to be done, we chase them up. Updates, we make sure we do them all the time. It's like, because we're speaking to the trainers, it's just what we do anyway.
How it's always something that spins my mind, and I've been in the industry for 20 years. Looking at your sales results of what you've purchased this year, how do you lie in bed at night and get a good night's sleep knowing that you've spent nearly $670,000 this year on bloodstock? That's a massive risk to take in any business, and something that's a high risk. Talk to me about how the mindset goes and your attitudes and your processes of how you sleep with 600,000+ next to your name.
I think, to be honest, Dave, like when coming from big business, like we had a goal in mind, and I think I've sent the business broke 4 times because I kept changing the goal, so I had to put in more. But at the end, I was like, I'm quite happy with this number. This number of horses every year. I pay everything up front. All race series, no credits, everything's up front.
Yeah.
And there was obviously with Stable Connect, things go in trust funds and we do the right thing legally by clients. But this commitment is because, like I said, we can win $1 million race tomorrow. Means I can buy more horses.
Yeah.
It's not for us to line our pockets. It's just what we love doing.
Yeah.
You know?
But even on the back of that, as you know, if you don't sell down the shares and you don't have success, the ability to do that year on year.
Well, you scale it, Dave.
Yes,
you
okay.
scale it.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I'm 100% hand over heart will race any horse and don't have to sell any horse. Got no dramas doing that because I believe in what we're doing. And this is our commitment. And if it doesn't work, well, I'm not going to die wondering.
Yep.
But I mean, we're very passionate and hardworking, and I mean, we're doing the right thing. We do the right thing by people. Our time in the sun's going to come because we work too hard for it not to. So, I mean, just which owners, and you wish it upon all of them. Like we genuinely get more stressed. Like back in Ahlia, you know, he's basically our horse, a couple of dad's mates, and one lovely gentleman in Queensland who begged me to get in. Right, top bloke. But, I mean, I'd rather see these new horses with 30 clients win just to see their faces, like the pressure. I mean, running in a Ramorni's nothing.
Yeah.
The maiden with a syndicated horse is like, oh, my God, please win for him, please, you know, like it gets stressful.
You want everyone to have a good experience.
We genuinely want more for clients than ourselves.
And with the ones you've bought this year, just looking across the board, it seemed to be a very consistent number. There's a couple of horses under the 40 to 40,000 mark. And then there's horses 50,000 to 170,000. Different sales. Does your ownership group differ with the person who gets involved? Because I'm sure at the $20,000 Ollie Kirk October colt that you bought from North Bloodstock, the introductory price to get involved in a 5% or a 2.5% share would be greatly different from the horse at 170,000. Talk to me about, is there a different dynamic in each racing group that you have, plus obviously the trainer that it's sent to?
No, not really. I mean, we've got one really supportive client that's raced with us, and he's in the $26,000 Cosmic Force and loves her. Yeah. And he's also in the North Pacific. He's in the Ole Already filly as well. I mean, people will buy what they deem as a nice page and a nice horse. And I mean, I'm not one to sway anyone. If they ring because they like something, I take it personally that they believing in our product and what we're doing. So, yes, there's different types of people, but I mean, that's what we welcome here, eh? We want mums and dads, nans and grandkids and everyone to get involved. That's what you need diversity for.
Yeah, diversity, I think, is important. You got diversity in the stallions, the studs you bought them from. Obviously, the price point as well is the biggest point for myself looking at your record. With the success you've had so far with Bacchanalia, of having the colours on the biggest stage, how important is it to have your colours prominent in regards to marketing and attracting new owners into the industry and into your business?
It's huge. Having your colours running around on TV, we're building a brand as well. So it's super important for people to notice. I mean, as you said, there's 100 syndicators running around? Yeah. So it's super important to have our colours out there and people noticing the brand. As I said, we've only been going for a year, so I mean, give
Take
us
time. I mean,
take time. Give us another
let's be
year
honest.
or two, and
We've had 3-3-year-olds in our colours. They were basically my colours. We just slapped the brand on the side of them.
yeah.
But they're
But we did
nice.
it 'cause
They're
we love them.
clean.
Yeah.
Like I'm colourblind, so my original colours were black with silver epaulets
Epaulets,
and hoops. That's what Mr. Marathon Man won the Canberra Cup in.
Just to touch on that, colourblind, don't you operate a tile company?
Yes, yeah. Codes and shades, my friend.
There must be like a crazy. There'd be like a plethora of colour.
No, I've got a great team of interior designers that do the colours, and you got to trust, right? Same as this industry. But I remember I was at Canterbury. Richard told me I loved Tavachi, and I bought this filly, right? And I was adamant. I was like, she's beautiful, mate. He goes, don't buy her. I said, I'm buying her. I got her cheap, right? And this is when you do it for yourself, you can take risks, right? You can't do this with clients. But anyway, and I'm at Canterbury. It's pissing down rain, and there's this horse that I'm like, yeah, look at her. And Richard's just like, just going through the motion. Anyway, we start her at Canterbury on a night race. She jumps out. I'm colourblind. It's night time. The screen, because it's raining, is off, right?
Oh, no.
I was like, shit, I've lost my horse.
Yeah.
I can't see my horse. Anyway, they all go past. I'm like, where's my horse? And there she comes. About 200 metres behind him.
Oh, no.
And I had no idea until she ran past. I said, I think we need to move her on, Rich. He goes, I think so. But since then, I was like, I would change to the white colours. I mean, you can clearly see we've had Destination win there at Canterbury. I can assure you can find them in the pack.
That's a huge
The striped hat is pretty obvious as well. And I based the new colours off remember the Sheik down in Melbourne? He had the Royal Navy blue, white epaulets.
Yeah. I know that. I know of the colours.
Yeah,
I can tell you what chic it is, but
whatever that Sheik that was big down there. And I used to love following his horses, and that's kind of.
sorry, you mean like Shadwell?
Yeah, Shadwell. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hamdan Al Maktoum's. I thought you meant the Royal. Sorry.
Yeah,
Shadwell's Hamdan. Yeah.
But I kind of flipped it and added a few little things. But that was the inspiration for the colours. Really,
you can definitely see these ones out on the track. So I think a good choice.
And with the colours going forward, just to close it out, what would you like to see the business move into and success with in 2025 and beyond, Tahlia? What would you like to experience?
Well, as everyone says, they want to win big races. I mean, that's great, but I think it's also about building the business up to have, I guess, more great owners, great horses, and it's just
the wins are going to come. I mean, horses, you put this much time and effort, good systems, it's naturally going to come. Whether it's at Goulburn, whether it's Magic Millions, whether we get kissed on the bum by a rainbow, can win a slipper or even something of those great races down the line. Right, things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But what we want to do is enjoy the ownership experience with the people that have backed us, that are loving every moment of it, the smiles on their faces, kids that's what we do it for. We love it. And the racing is obviously is the why, but I mean, it's the whole experience for us. And we don't need to buy 100 horses, do we? We might buy, what do we buy? 9 since we started?
Yeah, 9 since we started.
I might buy 2 next year.
Yep.
There's no goals to have 50 horses. I mean, do you want to do accounts for 50? I mean,
I think it's just we don't want to lose touch with our owners. We don't want to get too big that we don't have that personal touch. Like we have one. Like the best thing is we get pictures. We send out a welcome pack to our owners when they join us, and it's got the shirts and all that stuff. So. Like we have people send us photos of them in the shirts, and it just makes us so happy. And we have one client that said to us, he's like, you guys have brought so much light into my life. Like your weekly updates just brighten my, and hearing things like that is just
so
makes
good.
it all worth it.
It's so
we get
good.
so excited. We're like,
there's a gentleman, we have a lovely gentleman, right? And he rang us up and he said, Jace, I've got this much money to spend and I don't want to spend any more. And what yearling should I buy? And I just picked up Secret Plan from Bob Peters online. He's he's another Saturday horse for us that we've had plenty of fun with.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he had a bit more of a story about beating cancer and possibly could be coming back and that.
Yep.
And I just rang him up. I said, listen, I'm not going to sell you a yearling, but I've got a horse that's going to race on Saturday. Let's work out a fair price. So, and I'll put money aside for it. Every month, Tahlia does his billing, sends him a statement, and he's got a second at Eagle Farm. He's flown over twice.
Oh wow!
To Randwick to enjoy the races. We've been unlucky, but I mean the horses run super. He's planning on bringing his wife to come over.
So good.
And this guy, I mean, just for him to be having that experience, he comes to the chairman's lounge or just spend a day at the races. I mean, he's on the other side of the country, Dave.
Yeah.
And he's having the ride of a lifetime. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's and he's so happy. And now his wife coming too. Like, I mean, it's pretty cool. When you can do stuff like that and change someone's life, it's pretty cool. And let him, you know, he's just gone through hell. Just to have some enjoyment and get what he loves doing and do it with the bloke, unbelievable. That's what we do it for.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the best parts, isn't it?
He loves you.
Yeah, they all do.
They all do.
I get all,
they all do.
Yeah. Oh, I love all of our owners. They're all lovely. Like it's not that I can talk to anyone, but you get a feel for, you know, a person and I just like connecting with people. So
That was
fun.
the first thing that Jason said. He goes, "Wait, you meet my wife." Like, everybody gravitates to her. Yeah, and I can see
sweet.
why it's and it's, you know, it's lovely to spend time with you guys to understand your business. You know, with the straddle aspect, you guys have been hugely supportive of us. We are a young business as well, and you know, we're all navigating.
Yeah, everyone's just trying to have a go, right?
Yeah,
so
especially here in Australia.
Supporting each other is important.
Oh, and it's, you try and listen to each other's problems and fix them as we go, but the one thing that connects us is success.
That's right. And it'll come.
Yeah, it'll come.
Yeah,
It'll come.
And for those who want to get involved, Monarch still have a couple of yearlings available. You can get them on the Straddle Ownership Marketplace. You've got your website.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll see more people continue to race with you guys and have a bit of fun in 2025 and beyond.
Yeah.
Get involved.
So good. Great.
Thanks very much, guys.
No, thanks for having us.
Dave.
Cheers.